Thanks so much, Jane and Katie Rollison. Like Katie Biggs said, Wells Fargo is a fantastic partner to so many of us in the state and such a big part of this work we do together. So thank you. We are ready to give out some awards. This is such a fun part of the conference every year. There's incredible people in this world and in this work. And we're just always so honored to recognize everybody. The awards this year are sponsored by RBC Capital Markets. So thank you to RBC for their sponsorship of the awards this year. We have quite a slate of awards to recognize, and we are going to start with our Legislator of the Year awards. Andrea Davis will be presenting these on behalf of the Montana Housing Coalition. If you are not familiar with the coalition, please visit their website and become a member. They are your voice for Montana-made housing policy at the state level. Go ahead, Andrea.
Wonderful. Oops. Sorry, I just turned off my video. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Kaia. Appreciate that. And Jane, thank you for the connection and the motivation this morning. Our first award is for Senator Brian Hoeven from Great Falls. Senator Hoeven has been known for his ability to work across the aisle and get things done for Montana. In the 2021 session, Senator Hoeven successfully sponsored a bill to increase the capital gains tax relief for the owners of manufactured housing communities who sell to their residents. Senator Hoeven fearlessly sponsored bills to help residents of manufactured home parks have the opportunity to purchase their communities and limit rent increases in manufactured home communities. While these bills ultimately were not passed, we appreciate his valiant fight and the spotlight he's shown on the need to support these residents. Late in the session, Senator Hoeven took up the fight for the Montana Workforce Housing Tax Credit. He shepherded the bill out of the Senate Tax Committee, and when it was languishing in the Senate Finance and Claims, he successfully blasted it out of that committee on a 26-24 vote, and then it got passed by the Senate with the same margin. Senator Hoeven has done his homework on tax credits. He never falters in his quest for more homes and apartments affordable to working families, seniors, veterans, and those with disabilities. Thank you, Senator Hoeven, for all you have done to support affordable homes for all Montanans. Our second award is for Senator Jill Cohen from East Helena. Senator Cohen was the minority leader for the Senate in the 2021 session. Senator Cohen gets the connection between jobs and housing, that homes are where jobs go to sleep at night. She was passionate in the floor arguments in favor of several bills that would have created more homes and apartments for working families, winning votes from both sides of the aisle. Senator Cohen constantly supports workforce homes. She defends bills to create more homes and apartments for working families, and she has an unfailing passion and fight for the little guy. Thank you, Senator Cohen.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Senator Hoeven and Senator Cohen. If anyone has paddles out there, for those of you on video, show some love and congrats and put your thanks in the chat as well. Love, awesome, thank you. Historically, our awards have gone to people working in the field of affordable housing, including nonprofit leaders, legislators, and lenders. This year, we want to also recognize some of the great work being done by volunteers, residents, and other leaders. So we created two new awards, the Housing Advocate of the Year and the Resident Leader of the Year. For Housing Advocate of the Year, we want to recognize and thank George Nikolak. I can never get your name right, George, I haven't practiced. Nikolakakos. Oh, George was the owner of View Vista Community in Livingston prior to selling the property to the residents in 2019. Since then, he has been a champion of the resident-owned community model, talking with other park owners about his experience selling to the residents and advocating at the state legislature in support of creating an opportunity to purchase to give residents more notice and time to become owners. As a manufactured home park owner, George sees the continued need for safe and stable homes that people can afford. As he looks toward retirement from the Montana National Guard, he is looking forward to engaging even more in housing. Thank you, George. We look forward to more and good continuing work with you. For Resident Leader of the Year, we want to recognize Cindy Newman. In 2020, Cindy emerged as a leader to fight to control the damaging impact an outside investment corporation had on her manufactured home park and neighbors. Partly because of her actions, Fannie Mae changed its lending policies for manufactured housing communities. Because of her advocacy, residents of other communities affected by the same outside investment corporation are banding together to advocate for change. She was a vocal advocate during the state legislative session and worked tirelessly with her neighbors and residents in other communities to raise up the issues they face. We honor her work, past, present, and future. Congratulations, and thank you, Cindy. Give a wave. We see you on screen today, and we're so glad you could join us. We know the work isn't done, and we are so glad you are doing this work. Thank you, and congrats. Now for our lending awards from NeighborWorks Montana. We first want to recognize our top lender of the year for 2020. Ian Ullman was previously at First Interstate Bank and recently became the VP of Mortgage Lending at Guaranteed Rate and is based in Billings. Ian has been an incredible advocate for clients seeking homeownership. He works tirelessly to ensure his clients are getting the best and most affordable financing to meet their needs. In 2020, Ian did 5 20+ loans with NeighborWorks Montana and 3 LIFT loans. Ian also joined the NeighborWorks Montana board last year and is always helping us keep up to date on changes in the mortgage financing world and finding the best ways to support clients in this challenging home buying environment. Congratulations and thank you so much, Ian. Lori's giving you a "You Rock" sign. Awesome. This year, there were 2 lending institutions that tied for the number of loans they did with NeighborWorks Montana, First Interstate Bank and Stockman Bank. Thank you to Ryan Neeson, Regional Mortgage Manager, Michael Smith, Home Loan Division Sales Manager, and Brian Lubinsky, Mortgage Sales Manager from First Interstate Bank, and Teresa Morrison and Carol Holman from Stockman Bank for joining us today to accept these awards. Please extend our thanks and congratulations to your teams. We can't do this work without you, and there are so many successful homeowners out there because of what you do every day. So give a wave, all of you fantastic folks from First Interstate Bank and Stockman Bank. We so appreciate you. Cheryl, you are up next.
Well, good morning, everyone. I feel like we should have the faux Super Bowl, like football cheer in the crowds. It just feels so quiet when we're in a Zoom setting, but just imagine that it's there. So we're all cheering on the inside. You know, as everyone's been talking about, last year was certainly not a business as usual kind of year. And so we at Montana Housing decided that our awards this year should not be business as usual either. As many of you know, Montana was one of the first states in the nation to launch a coronavirus relief fund housing assistance program. We opened ours on May 7th of 2020. And during the administration of that program, Montana Housing established relationships with nearly 70 different regional and national mortgage service companies during the CARES Act program. We also partnered with NeighborWorks Montana and partner organizations to coordinate a technical support network to assist renters and homeowners applying for the program. Nearly 2,500 Montana renters and homeowners received over $8.4 million in support. On behalf of the Montana Housing team, I would like to acknowledge some stellar individuals, including mortgage servicers and frontline staff, who assisted so many Montanans experiencing financial hardships as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. First, I would like to recognize Patricia PJ Hansen. She's been an escrow manager with First Interstate Bank for 15 years. PJ worked with Montana Housing's homeownership program manager, Vicki Bauer, and one of her first Interstate Bank borrowers and the sellers for a home to accept payments from the program, which cured the borrower's default and prevented foreclosure. This was a really complicated transaction, and it involved returned funds and issuance of replacement checks, and was completed just prior to Thanksgiving to help that family stay in their home. So really wanted to recognize PJ and thank her for her work. Second, I'd like to recognize Susan Turner with Opportunity Bank. She's the AVP Loss Mitigation Officer, and she's been with Opportunity Bank for 3 years. Susan was incredibly proactive in her communication with Montana Housing on behalf of her borrowers, and she went above and beyond to support their borrowers, get their applications in and get them processed. Susan was really familiar with the individual circumstances and financial hardships that her borrowers were experiencing as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. And in the end, she helped 19 Opportunity Bank borrowers receive over $73,000 in assistance payments to help them stay in their homes. That was an average of $3,800 per borrower. Susan and I talked on the phone many times, and we had many email exchanges. And I know she did so as well with a number of my staff after I went on maternity leave. And I just can't thank Susan enough for all of her hard work. So thank you so much, Susan, for joining us today. Next, I'd like to recognize some staff who joined the Montana Housing Technical Assistance Network. These are all staff working on the front lines, working directly with Montanans who were experiencing crisis. And the Montana Housing team is so grateful for their work. And as an aside, I started off my career on the front lines working in homeless shelter and as a housing case manager and as a property manager. These are really hard jobs. They don't pay very well. They're very stressful, and it takes really special people to do these jobs really well. So first, I'd like to start off by recognizing Courtney Loeffler with Headwaters RC&D in Butte. She's been with them for 3 years. She's been a rock star in problem solving and going above and beyond with her clients, both in the 2020 Emergency Housing Assistance Program and now in the 2021 Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Courtney's been a leader in figuring out how to get applicants through the process despite obstacles. And she continues to do whatever it takes to make sure that people in crisis are served. And she always does so with a positive energy and with a smile. So thank you so much, Courtney, for all of your hard work. Next, I'd like to thank Eric Beeson and the team at HRDC 7. HRDC 7 came into the program last year a little later in the fall in the second round of processor recruitment by NeighborWorks Montana, but they still managed to serve a significant number of clients. HRDC has already served close to 100 applicants this year, just in the month of April, and just with a single application processor. They agreed early on to serve clients in person and to devote whatever was needed to ensure that the community could access this critical program. So I'd really like to thank Eric Beeson for leading such a fantastic team at HRDC 7. Thank you, Eric, and your team. Finally, the Missoula Food Bank and Community Center had several staff and volunteers who have just been tremendous. Rebecca Paquette, Jessica Alred, and Lynn Tenen-Foss ran the program for the Missoula Food Bank and Community Center in 2020. They were leaders from the beginning and were active and engaged with their network processor partners. And they've just been great problem solvers, great processors, and are so gracious in their customer care. And I just think it's an amazing thing to partner with a food bank on a program like this. It's just stepping up into like other duties as assigned categories that you wouldn't expect a food bank to be doing. So we really appreciate the work. So I'd like to thank Courtney, Eric, Rebecca, Lynn, and Jessica for just really being the quality customer service on the front line. It's a tremendously difficult job, and we really thank you. And last, but certainly not least, I'd like to recognize Michelle Rogers with NeighborWorks Montana. She's been their marketing and program specialist for the last 6 years. Michelle coordinated the NeighborWorks Montana Technical Assistance Partnership Network last year. She served as the liaison between Montana Housing and all of the partner organizations. Michelle's patient demeanor brought calm to stressful days, and her customer service to all involved, renters, homeowners, landlords, partner organizations, and Montana Housing staff, was just stellar. And we really want to thank Michelle. So thank you. It is truly because of dedicated individuals like PJ, Susan, Courtney, Eric, Rebecca, Lynn, and Jessica, and Michelle that our 2020 CARES Act Emergency Housing Assistance Program was a success. And I know many of them are continuing to support Montanans this year with our rental assistance program. Thank you all for your stellar work and going well above and beyond business as usual. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. My name is Bruce Brensdal. I'm with Montana Housing. And it's my distinct pleasure today to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Mary Bear. Mary Bear joined the staff of Montana Housing in 1995, actually just shortly after I began working for Montana Housing. So we truly have been partners in crime for quite a few years. Previously, she worked for private banks in Montana. Her banking experience provided valuable knowledge as she began her time at Montana Housing with our accounting team. After a few years in accounting, Mary accepted a position with the homeownership team, helping families obtain their first opportunity to purchase a home. She then moved into the multifamily team and for the last 10 years has been the manager. Mary developed relationships with our development community, board members, staff, and peers, and that has moved the multifamily team forward through many challenging times. Her ability to find solutions that were worked for all partners in the multifamily world made her the go-to person in Montana for affordable rental housing development. Mary recently retired and is spending more time with her family and the hobbies she enjoys. You know, Mary's is a peer to all of us at Montana Housing, but truly, she's really more our friend. You know, Mary has been kind of the go-to person for a lot of folks. A lot of folks would go to Mary in confidence and share their feelings and, you know, the things that were good and bad in their lives at that particular time. And Mary's always respected that confidence. Many times when I was the executive director, I'd actually talk to Mary about, so what's really going on around Montana Housing? Because Mary was the one that knew. And she's the one that cared. And she always kept those people in confidence. She's also was kind of our party girl. Many times that included a glass of wine, but other times it more was, let's play some game work and do some, you know, building with relationships amongst staff. And she was always the one that would recognize maybe someone in crisis within our staff or within our partner agencies and recognize and try to help them throughout the years. So as we all remember the professional work that she's done, I think I will at least, and I know most of the people that knew her at work will remember all of the personal things that she did. So Mary, congratulations. And if you'd like, you can unmute and say a few words to all of us.
Well, thank you, everyone. You know, we do great work at Montana Housing and in the affordable housing community, and it's more important than ever now to work on that. I do miss working in it, but I am starting to figure out how to enjoy retirement, and we're going to do a lot of camping this summer. We've got 72 days reserved in campgrounds with our RV. So we're going to be having some fun, but I am sure that I know you guys will hear from me either as friend or who knows if I might pop up somewhere else. But anyway, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mary. That's awesome.
Yes, congratulations, Mary. Thank you all awardees. Thank you, Cheryl and Bruce and Kaia, and just for presenting all those wonderful awards. I always love our award ceremony. I'm going rogue from our script because I always love our award ceremony because it makes me so excited about the work we do. We get really stuck in the weeds sometimes, but we are really all doing incredible work across the state. So congratulations to everyone contributing to that.